Morning. How's it all going? What's the date today? Today is August the 3rd. August the 3rd? Something like that. Not too sure. Doesn't really matter. 2025. Here I am working in my shop again. I'll just do the low-tech tilt the thing. I'm working on my Richards chassis. I bought myself a brand new Richards chassis. And what this video is about is how much does it cost to get a chassis landed in Canada? So I live on the West Coast, Maple Ridge, British Columbia. And I guess what we'll do is we'll go backwards. So taxes. The taxes on the shipment came in at $522.89. So that's what I had to pay for the PST and GST on the chassis, the additional things I got onto the chassis, as well as the shipping crate. So it was 280 pounds times 1.84 pounds per dollar Canadian. Couple of surprises. So I had it shipped from Richards Chassis. The total bill, as you can see here, that's the total bill from Richards Chassis. And I'll just go through the numbers. Let me just turn the page here. So the total numbers were the basic chassis for a new 88 Series 2A A to C left-hand drive replacement chassis, 1995 pounds. That's Great British pounds. So if you do the math, basically it's almost times 1.84, so almost times 2. So comes out to almost $4,000. I added the bolt-in gearbox cross member. Apparently that's supposed to be the thing to do. That was 39 pounds, so $80, big deal. I went with the twin tank option, so that's 19 pounds, so $40. That gives you the extra little thing added on to the wing, so you can put 2 tanks in it, because they come with a 10-gallon tank. I wanted to add the second tank. Everything in Canada is hours away. How big is British Columbia? British Columbia is so big you wouldn't believe it. So just to give you a lowdown, it is farther from the Yukon, British Columbia northern border to the Vancouver, Washington border than it is from the Vancouver, Washington border to Tijuana, Mexico. I think it's about 100 miles further, or about 160 kilometers further. British Columbia is massive. I mean, it's just massive. I think you can fit probably 2 or 3 United Kingdoms into one British Columbia. It's just huge. So I got the tie rod bracket. That was an extra 10 pounds. I also got the bolt-on steering damper. That was 28 pounds, sorry. So basically $60. I decided to go with a bolt-on versus a weld-on, just in case I decide to not use a steering damper. I've ordered one, but I just got the bolt-on just to give me the option. The shipping crate was a bit of a hit, 280 pounds, so that's basically $500 plus. That's just to put it in the crate. And then the big hit was the shipping. So the quote I got for shipping was 1,195 pounds. That's more than half the cost of the chassis itself. So it's really expensive to get a chassis here. Now, that being said, yeah, I paid the bomb for it, but I'm really happy I got it. This Richards chassis is just beautiful. Like, they've done a great job. It has every bit you could ever want. I'll do another little walkthrough for a video following this one. But I just wanted to give you a lowdown on what it's like to actually do the shipping and the ordering. So one of the things you do is you send an email to Richards Chassis, or you can order online. And then basically what you do is you say, this is what I want. Make sure you get everything the way you need it. They send you emails back and forth. You pay your money. I had to pay my money up front because I kind of custom ordered a frame. I got the extra supports for the bulkhead, like on I guess a Suffix D and Honor and further frame. So I got the extra supports. I figured that was worthwhile doing. But either way, it came. I ripped all the crate apart. I offloaded it by hand, which is a bit of a bear, but that's okay. I have a couple of wheelie carts. I just jacked it up, put a wheelie cart on, and then rolled it off and ka-chunk onto the driveway. So I was really happy with that. And then there was a few surprises. So I got a quote for $470, which is the cost that you pay once you get it landed. So in other words, they give you the cost to ship, and that's to ship it to Canada. In my case, I got it shipped to Port of Vancouver. And then the Port of Vancouver, which was actually in Halifax, which was really kind of weird. They offloaded it in Halifax, shipped it to a warehouse in Ontario, and then trucked it across the country. From then on, it basically came to a warehouse in Port Coquitlam. It was supposed to go to a warehouse in Delta on Annacis Island, a customs warehouse, but that's a whole nother story I won't get into. Once your chassis arrives, then you have to go, if you live in Vancouver, you go to this address in Vancouver and you pay customs your money. They got to get their pound of flesh, they do. Luckily, there's no duty. You just have to pay the PST and the GST. That's, if you're in the UK, that's kind of like the VAT. VAT is 20%, our PST and GST combined is 12%. So I felt pretty good about that. Basically, the long and short of it is, there is a couple surprises. Because the warehouse made a mistake, I didn't have to pay the loading fee. Typically, you will also have to pay a forklift fee or a fee to have them loaded onto your trailer. But either way, I have my chassis now. Here it is. I'm gonna go into fly mode with my camera just to give you a lowdown on everything. So just bear with me for a second. I'll unleash this baby. And now we go into fly mode. So now I can fly around and show you my beautiful chassis. So this chassis is just gorgeous. They've done a really good job. I'm really happy with it. I ordered up some new GME springs. I'll be doing a video on that pretty quick. I may have my springs in backwards. We're gonna find out. I've oriented them all the same way, but we'll find out. And we'll go from there. So either way, this is Michael in his very crowded little shop on a very humid day today. All in Canadian dollars, it cost me, including the taxes, just under $8,000 Canadian for this frame. So it was $6,600 for the frame, the shipping, and the crate. $460 or $470 for the charges once it got here, which I was not very happy about, but it is what it is. And then what else did I have to pay? I had to pay $460 for offloading, handling, and all the rest of it. And then I had to pay my $500 and whatever dollars for the taxes. I didn't have to pay taxes on the shipping, which was good because that would be another $260. But that's what it ended up being. So that's for it for now. I'll post this and yeah, give me some feedback. And yeah, this is a Richards chassis. There are a few, but this seems to be a very reasonable price for what appears to be a really well-made unit. Okay, Michael, fixing my 1967 Land Rover S2 88, over and out.